Okay, I want to return now to another decent man, the biggest story of the day, the UK election. So let's cross live to the UK now. And I'm joined by a former Conservative minister, Lord Jonathan Marland, and the man who ran an election campaign for Boris Johnson. Lord Marland, great to see you. Today marks the end of 14 years of UK Conservative rule. You knew this was coming. Does it still hurt?
Well, it hurts because I've got a terrible hangover, Erin, from too big a night. So you'll forgive me if I don't laugh too much. No, it's been a bad night. A good clean out in many ways for the Conservative Party. Interesting enough, if you look at the dynamics, the Labour vote only increased by 1.5%. It hasn't really gone up. It's a party called Reform that has taken 4 million votes in lots of Conservative seats, and that's been the cost to the party.
What do you think Rishi Sunak could have / should have done differently, if anything?
Well, he could have run a better campaign, that's for sure. He caught everyone on the hop, including his own campaign managers, by calling the election when he did. I had lunch with David Cameron this week. He had no idea the election was going to be called. He's one of his most senior ministers. So he caught everyone on the hop. The party clearly wasn't prepared for it. It wasn't a very good election campaign. But I'm afraid to say, it's the history of 14 years and, the infighting that has happened and the lack of forgiveness, really, for being in charge during COVID. We look in the West over here, virtually every sitting ruling party is going to lose their power because people aren't going to forgive them for the results of COVID.
No, really good point. What do you make of Keir Starmer himself? He's not personally popular. The opinion polls show that. What do you think he'll be like as a leader?
Well, I don't know what he'll be like as a leader, but what I would say to him is, look, the world, and particularly the UK, is not in a good place financially and demographically. We don't need a class war. We need people to settle down, unite together, because we've got really serious changes we need to make to the country. We need to get rid of the ridiculous bureaucracy that's killing us. We need to get our civil service back governing properly, which it hasn't done. We need to redress the balance sheet. We've got 96% debt to GDP. And actually, what we don't want is a class war, which drives a lot of people away from the United Kingdom, as is happening even under a Conservative government and the threat of a Labour government. People are leaving the country and we'll have a brain drain, which will make it very difficult to get out of the economic mess we're in.
I'm hoping, Lord, that you've still got a little bit of alcohol in your system because you might be more fluid in this response. Boris Johnson, does he want another crack at the top job? We saw him come out not for Sunak, but for the Conservatives last week. Didn't mention Rishi by name, of course. But does he want another crack?
Well, we'll see. There is always people clamouring for him to come out. I don't think he'll do it immediately anyway. He's not an MP. As you know, Erin, he was 60 10 days ago. I gave him a boomerang, by the way, for his birthday, which might give you an indication of the sort of... it wasn't just for his reasons of loving Australia. It was for perhaps he might come back. We'll see. We'll see what happens. There will be a lot of inward-looking Conservatives now wondering how the hell have we got into this mess and what are we going to do to get it out. And just to see, it just depends who emerges from this mess. I rather hope Rishi will stay on for a bit, clearly, and just sort of conduct a leadership campaign which is calm and sensible and gives us time to reflect. And a number of us will be trying to persuade him of that.
Lord, very quickly in one word, what did Boris say when you gave him the boomerang? What was his response?
He didn't say anything. He laughed.
Okay, that's enough for me. Thank you so much, Lord. Go back to bed. Really appreciate your time, as always.
Thanks, Erin. Great to see you.
Thank you so much.